Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at noon. I'm Alexandra Carter. Former President Donald Trump is moving forward on the campaign trail this week after what the FBI says appeared to be a second assassination attempt. The suspect, who has had previous encounters with law enforcement, was in federal court for an initial appearance this morning. CBS's Christian Benavides has the latest from West Palm Beach.
58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth appeared in a Florida courtroom this morning on 2 charges related to firearm possession. He was arrested 50 miles away from former President Donald Trump's West Palm Beach golf course Sunday after the Secret Service spotted the muzzle of an AK-47 peeking out through the shrubbery and pointed at the former president.
The Secret Service did exactly what they should have done.
Authorities say the incident took place near the 5th and 6th holes, with Trump just 300 to 500 yards away. The agent fired off 4 to 6 rounds, and the suspect then took off in a car. Officials say he left behind a rifle, a scope, and 2 backpacks.
The threat level is high. We live in danger times.
Former Deputy Director of the U.S. Secret Service and CBS News consultant A.T. Smith.
This area where the individual was is sometimes used by the press to try to get a shot or a photograph of the former president when he's playing.
Officials say the level of security was consistent with that of a former, not sitting president. CBS News has confirmed that the former president is meeting with the acting director of the Secret Service today.
The service needs more help.
Leaving the White House this morning, President Biden also said he did not yet have a full report on the incident. The FBI is investigating, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says his office is also looking into what happened.
We also believe that there's a need to make sure that the truth about all this comes out in a way, that's credible.
Trump is holding a rally on Long Island Wednesday, and officials there say they're implementing new security measures. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach.
Well, good afternoon to you. We're going to start off with, again, highs holding on to the upper 80s. We're also going to be moving into tomorrow and now holding them in the upper 80s. Before they were going to just hold on to at least maybe 86 to about 87 degrees. So then as we get into it, it's going to be hot today. It'll be hot tomorrow. For the rest of the work week, though, we fall down to the warm, holding on to middle 80s. And once we get later in the week, we're going to find, again, ourselves holding on to rain options, moving into the picture, starting off with some scattered showers, then getting into the potential for storms as we finish out the weekend. Hey, let's take a quick peek here as we go right into how this will all look right now for current temperatures. We're at 79 in Ladysmith. Eau Claire right now, we're looking at least about 84 degrees. We are locally here at 79 degrees in La Crosse, 78 down in Prairie du Chien. As we take a look at the 24-hour temperature change, we're looking at least 1 to about 5 degrees warmer in some locations. In fact, a little bit cooler in some locations down here because we've got the added cloud cover. When I come back, I'll give you a better view of how this will all play out for the rest of the week, so please stick around.
All right, Art, we'll see you later. Thank you. Governor Tony Evers visited UW La Crosse this morning, part of his annual back-to-school tour. The governor is highlighting his proposal for a record-breaking increase in state funding for the UW system. Governor Evers plans to propose more than $800 million in additional funding in his next budget. That's aimed at preventing staff layoffs, campus closures, and program cuts. The governor will continue his tour at UW Superior this afternoon. Basketball fans, mark your calendars. The Harlem Globetrotters are bringing their unique brand of hoops and tricks to La Crosse next year. They'll take the court at the La Crosse Center March 14th, 2025. It's part of their world tour as the team approaches its 100th anniversary. Expect the usual mix of skill and showmanship that's made the Globetrotters a crowd favorite for decades. And La Crosse's Charmant Hotel is receiving national recognition. The Michelin Guide just awarded the Charmant with one of its most prestigious Michelin keys, making it one of just about 300 hotels in the country to earn this honor. Hotels selected must excel in design, service, personality, value, and guest experience. The Charmant Hotel joins Goodwin in Beloit as Wisconsin's second Michelin key recipient. And today's clue for the Oktoberfest medallion hunt has been released. The clue reads, quote, friendship, Gemütlichkeit, and more. The festivities begin soon, so head out to explore. The little round disc is out there again and hidden. Join with others to read, decipher, and search on this annual mission. If you're planning to look for it, here are the rules. According to a release, the medallion is not buried in the ground. It is within La Crosse city limits. It can be accessed any time of the day or night, and it fits in the palm of your hand. It might also be camouflaged. If you do find the medallion, take it to the Oktoberfest office, where you'll win some Oktoberfest merchandise, a $500 cash prize, and a miniature replica of the medallion. Still ahead, the Fed may cut interest rates this week for the first time in 4 years. What that could mean for your wallet, coming up.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Women need to pay close attention
to what Eric Hovde says about access to abortion.
Hovde's all in about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And he wanted Roe overturned.
Do you think Roe versus Wade should be overturned?
Yes. So Eric Hovde is okay with politicians overruling decisions of doctors like me.
My patients worry about what Hovde will take away next.
A vote for Eric Hovde means we'll lose even more control over our lives.
Women Vote is responsible for the content of this ad.
Cooley Carpet has always been more than just carpet, and now the name will reflect that. Cooley Floors and Design. Along with the brand new name, there's a fresh new look to the showroom. Don't worry, Cooley Floors and Design still has the same great team at the same convenient location. Ready to elevate your space? The design consultants will take the time to discuss your dreams, needs, and your budget. Cooley Floors and Design will accompany you through every step, from expert advice to professional installation. Visit Cooley Floors and Design on Mormon Cooley Road for a fresh new look.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor has immediate openings and wants you to apply. They say this job takes grit, attention to detail, and ability to work as a team. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today. $2,500 hiring bonus.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
No, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Welcome back. In today's Money Watch report, economic experts are predicting the Federal Reserve is likely to lower interest rates for the first time in 4 years during its meeting this week on Wednesday. The Fed has been hinting at possible cuts as inflation drops and the job market cools. Traders are hoping for a bigger than usual slash in rates. Walgreens says it'll pay $106 million to settle lawsuits in Texas, New Mexico, and Florida that claim the drug retailer submitted false payment claims with government programs for prescription prescriptions that were never filed. The company says it's corrected the error and has refunded all overpayments. And Tim Burton sequel Beetlejuice had another big weekend at the box office, selling 51.6 million tickets, down only 54% compared to its opening weekend. The horror film Speak No Evil nabbed the second spot with just over $11 million, followed by Disney and Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine. That one is still ranking. That raked in $5.2 million. That wraps up your afternoon consumer news. As we head to break, here's a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next.
This is my grandma Kim. She has a lot to say about Eric Hovde.
Mr. Fancy, California banker, said he'd absolutely cut Social Security and raise the retirement age.
Hovde suggested that most seniors shouldn't vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
In Wisconsin, we have a word for guys like him.
DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's trusted gutter and gutter helmet experts. Our highly trained certified technicians can install gutter helmet onto new or existing gutters. Gutter helmet blends in beautifully with your home, can withstand the heaviest of rainfalls, and is backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Save up to 22% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with seamless gutters and gutter helmet, brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
The CDC is investigating how a person in Missouri caught bird flu, but they say the risk to the public is still low. The patient, who has recovered, claims they had no contact with animals and did not drink raw milk. Health officials believe it could be a rare instance of a one-off standalone illness. Many employees feel pressure to work while sick. A study by the University of South Florida found that many organizations have a culture where it's expected you'll come into the office even when you're not feeling well. The study found working while sick leads to lost productivity, mistreatment of coworkers, and can even push employees to leave the company. A new study says psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, could help millions of people with depression. Research published in Psychedelics found that if the FDA approves the treatment, more than half of Americans currently being treated for depression could qualify for psilocybin therapy. But researchers say we're still learning about the best ways to use the treatment. Those were some of the day's top health headlines. As we take a live look outside now from CityCam 8, Art is in next with a look at our forecast.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Are you struggling to get through the day? Are you experiencing chronic pain, burning, numbness, and tingling in your hands or feet? Pay attention, because you are probably experiencing peripheral neuropathy. The most common symptoms are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, and problems with balance. Neuropathy is treatable, and our office can help. It's time to get real results. Pick up your phone and call us right now. If you're one of the first 25 callers, you'll receive a free nerve damage screening. This nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious nerve damage and if you're qualified for our cutting-edge treatment program to stop the nerve damage. Don't wait until it's too late and your symptoms get so bad that you lose your freedom and are restricted to a wheelchair, walker, or need amputation. Call now to be one of the first 25 callers to receive a free nerve damage screening. Hurry, call now to find out if you qualify for our free nerve damage screening and see how we can change your life. It's time to feel better. Call today.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
News 8 Now this morning.
Well, good afternoon to you here. We have hot conditions, and I think we're going to be seeing hot conditions remain through Tuesday. Before this morning, I was saying possibly up to 87 degrees, but looks like we may get up to 89 today and 88 for tomorrow. I know that's a 1 degree difference, but hey, I don't make the rules. That's the way it's going to be going. Rest of the work week, though, we're looking at warm conditions where we're going to see possibly middle 80s working in the picture. And then once we get deeper into, say, the weekend, we're looking at a possible 80-degree heat, and then eventually is finishing out the weekend and going into Monday, we could see temperatures just around, say, 75 degrees for La Crosse. Everybody else to the north will probably be much cooler. All right, that being said, you're looking at humid conditions working along much of the seaboard here, eastern seaboard, all the way down to the coast. We're holding on to the possibility of a tropical storm developing there. Dry conditions down to the south here over near the Gulf, and well up to the north, we're looking at snow potential working into Idaho and Montana, getting into Colorado, as well as a deep low pushing some rainfall potential into California, maybe even driving down south and helping out with some of those wildfires. That would be nice. Look at this, a lot churning around the area here. As you can see, we've got high pressure trying to build. We've got a low system, a pressure system getting a little bit closer. And what's that going to do? Well, you can see what's happening. We've got the demarcation line. We've got upper 60s here. You've got some 70s working back up into the north, but you're also holding on to 70s and 80s and 90s all the way stretching down to Texas. So there's a lot of possibility of this huge ridge building up right here. This area of low pressure will start to dig a little bit more to the east, and eventually that'll bring some rainfall up into Canada, possibly even splitting flow here, and then bringing some of that moisture here locally and in aid of what's coming into the Gulf as well as from the east coast in the form of humidity. That happens. We go through Wednesday. You're seeing warm conditions still holding on, and then eventually this ridge still continues to build, bringing more heat back up to the Midwest. That continues to stretch up even more so all the way through Tulsa, Oklahoma, getting back into areas by Omaha, Nebraska, and then working its way all the way into Wisconsin. Then we see conditions still holding on to the warm, but rainfall starting to edge closer as we go from Thursday night into Friday. You can see the area of low pressure all the way digging down into the Four Corners region as well, still pushing all of that down. By the time we get into Sunday, we cool it on down. You're looking at temperatures around, say, 75 degrees with rainfall potential. Well, we get to this storm here, as I mentioned. This is 8 right here. It could possibly become a tropical storm, but right now it's showing that it may just hold on to just a low pressure system right now. This could switch off. Once we get back into it, you're going to see a lot of this moisture working its way back into the east coast and into the northeast and eventually back to us here locally. So we're not going to be seeing much in the way of rainfall as we go through the next few days here, but once we get into Thursday, as I mentioned before, you're going to be seeing a lot of rainfall start to move into the picture in the form of showers going into maybe a storm or two possibly. Here's the look at the rainfall for Thursday going into into Friday. Then you see it kind of back off a wee bit. And once it gets out of the way, you're going to be seeing the potential for heavier rainfall moving in the picture, possibly with some storms moving into our future. That being said, we take a gander at what's playing out for us. We go right into this. You're going to be seeing the highs looking like this as we go into the possibility of 89 today, 88 tomorrow. Then we're going to see the possibility of middle 80s to cool down your forecast for just a little bit. Then rainfall comes to the picture for mild on Saturday, and you can see those 80s and, of course, those 70s on the way.
All right, so a little bit of relief finally in the view, right? We've got a...
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of everything. It's like a hodgepodge.
It is for sure a hodgepodge, yes. Thank you, Art. Coming up, a colossal pumpkin sets a new record in Russia. We'll tell you how much this orange giant tipped the scales by, and the new record is set after the break.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy? Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I'm Tom Hammes from Maxwell White Water Conditioning. Have you been concerned about the quality of your water? Many homes in our area face issues like hard water, high iron, city-added chlorine, acidity, PFAS, and nitrates in their water. These can cause scale buildup, dry skin, stained laundry, health issues, appliance damage, and more. So don't let bad water affect your home and health. Call us today for a professional evaluation and start enjoying cleaner and safer water for you and your family. That's Maxwell White Water Conditioning, done right.
Tammy Baldwin on transparency.
I don't think there should be two sets of rules, one for the wealthy and one for the rest of us.
12 years later, Baldwin pushed for conflict of interest regulations, but exempted herself. And Baldwin won't disclose any shared assets she has with her partner, despite the potential for conflict of interest. Tell Tammy Baldwin, we deserve the truth. Wisconsin Principals is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are you thinking about new windows and doors? A new bathroom, a new kitchen, maybe a sunroom, siding, or a deck? Get started today with special savings while we celebrate serving homeowners for over 35 years. While we celebrate Danielle becoming the new general manager.
And celebrate Dad's 80th birthday.
Best products.
The best people.
Best prices.
35th anniversary at the Board Store.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time. You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
A record-breaking pumpkin tipped the scales in Russia over the weekend. Top prize went to a giant pumpkin. Here it is, grown by 28-year-old Muscovite Alexander Chusov at a massive 1,801 pounds. The pumpkin set a new national record. Pumpkins from various Russian regions took part in the event, 5 of which were grown by Chusov himself. His entry beat his previous personal record of 1,208 pounds. Following the competition, the giant pumpkins and a variety of other vegetables are put on display for visitors. Do they eventually eat them? Stay with us. We'll have one more check of your forecast when we come back.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote.
I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
When you vote, please think about me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade,
He couldn't care less.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
Breezy and gusty conditions today as we go through the afternoon. Then we result in some temperatures holding like this for Eau Claire, 80s, and then possible upper 80s to finish out. La Crosse will do the same. Going right back into your forecast, it's going to be a wild one across this week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Art. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight.